I just spoke to 75 different MSPs, ranging from smaller MSPs, sub $1 million, all the way up to $15+ million MSPs. And I want to go over the 8 things that I saw most common after speaking to all of them. And this video is going to be really important because regardless of whether you are a brand new MSP or you are already a seasoned MSP, more than likely, if these 75-ish MSPs I've spoken to are having the problems, you probably are too. And I want to share with you guys how you can resolve a lot of those things. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether that's sales training, marketing training, or even business operations. Before I get into it, I do want to mention that, one, I am super thankful for the opportunity. I'm not sure if I can mention the organization just yet that invited me to go speak. However, that will be coming in the very, very near future. And two, there is a new masterclass that I'm unbelievably excited to finally have rolled out. This is, I think, the 3rd video I've mentioned it on now. I'm already getting really, really, really good feedback. This took months and months of planning. I would really appreciate it if you went down there, checked it out. It is a 3-part training, but it is jam-packed with information specifically to help you grow your MSP. So let's talk about it. Now, I was speaking to groups of about 5 to 10 MSPs, and it was a very intimate environment. I had usually about an hour to speak to all of these MSPs, and they were built into different pods, ranging from, like I said, that smaller MSP to 1 to 3 million, 2 to 5 million, and then some of them were $2 to $15 million. And the cool part is actually I have the Firefly Notes app. I let them all know that I was going to record the sessions because I just wanted to hear what I did good and what I did bad to ultimately get better. But I also knew that I wanted to leverage that to help you guys, my audience. And some of them are subscribers. So if you're seeing this video, I appreciate the heck out of you for checking this out. And I am also traveling. I'm in Atlanta. I'm at my buddy's apartment here. So the acoustics are not as good as I would hope, but that is totally okay. Number 1 is the process for onboarding new customers, and a sales process has to get dialed in. I was truly surprised that the $1 million+ mark, there are still MSPs struggling with a correct sales process, but also struggling with onboarding new clients and being able to onboard them quickly. So I want to give you guys a quick sales process that you can start following literally as soon as this video is over. So the first is you're going to have what is called a sales qualified lead, and that's going to be built out in HubSpot or whatever platform you want horizontally. You're going to have a sales qualified lead. Those are going to be the leads that you identify as really, really good opportunities that you would love to do business with. It could be your ideal customer profile, your buyer persona, and if you don't have one already, head over to growth-generators.com/resources, and you can scroll all the way down and find that buyer persona. Not only do you have to have that, but after you have that, you have to actually have a process for booking the meeting, attending the meeting or discovery day, going back and building out the proposal, delivering the proposal, and then finally follow up if you choose to add that step. And you should have one of 2 results: closed won or closed lost. But you can build all of those tabs out in whatever CRM you're using, as long as you are using a CRM, which also was quite shocking how many MSPs didn't actually have a full-fledged CRM that they could use and track potential deals. Number 2 is client retention and support. I cannot tell you how many MSPs were not marketing almost at all, but more importantly, marketing to their existing customers. And marketing doesn't have to be to get the sale over and over and over again. Think of how many times we see the Apple logo, we see McDonald's, Burger King, whatever it is, we see those logos constantly, right? It's not, yes, they are eventually trying to earn our business, but more importantly, they want to keep the business. And it is shocking to me how many MSPs bring a customer in and then they just go cold. There's no consistent follow-ups, there's no emails, there's no letting people know, there's no tech tips, nothing like that. Remember, we are the trusted partner for better yet, for our clients. Why not? We are constantly in these environments. Why not share with them what's going on? It's not to scare them, but it's important that they know. They don't have to know everything, but for major threats, major attacks, major failures like the CrowdStrike incident, those are really important for us to let our clients know. And also let them know, hey, this isn't impacting you because you're working with us, but we still want to let you know about that. Number three is it is truly crazy how many MSPs have yet to dial in their pricing structure and pricing strategies around them. Now, there's typically three kind of ways that you can build it. You can build it into multiple plans, right? So you have a good, better, best. You can build it into an all-in-one. Hey, if you want to work with us, it's all included in there, and maybe some additional bolt-ons for additional security or anything of that nature. Or a la carte, where they're like, hey, I want managed services for every customer, but we only need 5 Microsoft licenses. Figure that out as soon as you possibly can. You guys already know that I am a huge, huge, huge fan of going with the 3 plans. You have a good, a better, and best, but I totally understand why certain businesses do certain things. But figure that out as soon as possible and get your pricing as dialed in as you possibly can. It will save you so many headaches down the road. But find what just works for you and your MSP. It's really important that you do that. Next is building a lead generating machine. If you are not building a lead generating machine, you are completely missing the boat. Now, you don't have to go crazy. Everyone thinks like, well, I want to find somebody, I'm going to hire somebody. And I would actually argue to say you don't have to do a lot of that. What you do have to do, though, that is really, really important, is you have to start doing some marketing. There is no agency out there that's going to solve all of your problems, especially if you can't tell them who your dream customer is, your ideal customer profile, or your buyer persona. Because of that, I typically recommend spending at least a half hour, maybe up to an hour, and if you want to go crazy, an hour and a half creating some kind of content. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to produce a video every day, a blog post every day, a social media post every day, but incrementally adding that up over and over and over and over again, there is a massive opportunity. The other benefit of this is not only are you going to be able to use that for your marketing, you're going to be able to get found on Google, and additionally, guess what? Your competitors are not doing it. I cannot tell you how many of you guys book discovery calls with me and you're like, well, this is my competition. And they're doing nothing on their website. They're doing no marketing whatsoever. By you doing just a little bit, even 30 minutes of work every single day, you are going to infinitely grow your MSP so much faster than any of the competition out there. It's just a little bit of work. Just like I make videos almost every single day, 5 days a week, right? Because I know that my competitors are not making that much content and they're not providing that much resources to the audience. I want to make sure that I can produce as much valuable and helpful content as possible, and I want you to do the same. I want you to truly go out and build as much content as you can. And think about it, even if you spend 30 minutes per week, right? And you can produce 1 blog post per week. Fast forward 1 year from now, that's 52 blog posts. I can almost guarantee you your competitors are not going to add any of them. And if they add any of them, it might be less than the amount of fingers I have on my hands. For those of you listening, that is 10 currently. I haven't lost any fingers yet. Next is going to be operating in automations. Oh my goodness. Now, I'm not talking about RMM and PSA tools, and I combine those two because there are plenty of tools that combine your RMM and PSA. But the amount of MSPs that are not leveraging marketing with a sales process. As you move somebody through the sales process that I just mentioned before, between a sales qualified lead to that discovery or booking call to the discovery day, right, building out that proposal, you can have marketing emails trigger as you move people through. It doesn't have to be a lot of emails, but it can let the customer know, hey, by the way, this is what we're doing currently. We're analyzing our day, making sure we took down a bunch of notes. We're building a custom proposal specifically to you and to fit your needs. And this is going to help tremendously as we go deliver the proposal in person or over Zoom. And if I find out a single one of you guys are delivering proposals or emailing proposals and not walking the person through it, I'm going to be very, very, very mad at you, right? But we have to leverage that. There is marketing and then there is sales. And somewhere in the middle, they mesh, and that is where true magic happens for your MSP. Every MSP has to figure out where they fall in that that dynamic between the two. It is truly, truly important. And it's okay. You're not going to get it right on day one, but you're also never going to get it right if you don't start trying to figure it out. That's really the key point to all this. You're not going to get it on day one, but just doing more and more and more, you will ultimately master that. On top of that, little golden nugget for all of you guys, but you have to hit that like button, subscribe button, that notification bell first. I'll wait. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. You can leverage the blogs that you're creating, the videos that you're creating, the social media content that you're creating in your email marketing, in your automation, so you can refer back to it. If you go through and grab any of my tools, spoiler alert, you're gonna get some emails, right? I try not to bombard you, but I wanna add as much value as I possibly can, and I produce tons and tons of videos. Some of my best videos, I let you know, hey, I created this video that I think you would find super helpful, that is majorly different than the rest of them, and that is something that I truly, truly appreciate, and I hope you appreciate, because I just want to provide as much value as I possibly can to help you grow your MSP business. Next is there are still questions about a cybersecurity and tech stacks. You're always going to have this. You're always going to doubt yourself. There's always going to be a new tool. Find what you love. I'm not paid by any vendors to say at this point any of the vendors that I recommend almost ever. I will completely come out and say that either I am an affiliate and I don't even care if you use it or not, or if I'm sponsored by anybody. I currently, at the time of making this video, I have no sponsors. There are softwares that I truly love because I love the company, I love what they stand for, I love the reputation that they have, I love that people I know use them and have had great success with them. That is what I truly, truly value. But there is always going to be a new shiny object. Find what works for you, find what protects your customers and your clients, run with it until the next best thing comes out. It's okay. You're going to change, you're gonna pivot. But I did hear a lot of questions and concerns about cybersecurity and what's the best thing out there. And these guys are peer groups. They're all talking to find out the best thing. I'm shocked at how many of them are trying to talk about the next best thing. Just provide the best thing that you possibly can and consistently move on and help grow your MSP. Next is going to be financial management and cash flow. Now, this conversation almost always came from I need more leads or I need more sales. You have to do marketing activities to get leads, and you have to get good at sales. The more leads you have, the more practice you can have with sales. You don't want the situation to come in where you have to close the deal because you didn't do any marketing activities and you finally have the opportunity to ultimately get a sale. Get as many leads as you possibly can. Practice. If you're worried about it or you're concerned about it, come hang out with us in the membership or come hang out with us in the Discord. We talk all about sales and sales processes. At the bare minimum, start to role play. I'm sure you probably have a team, a friend, somebody like that, and ask them, hey, what is an objection that you think somebody would have? And then role play. Hey, could you pretend that you're the client and I'm going to pretend that I'm the MSP? And after you go through the role play, then have the conversation of like, hey, what do you think I did good? What do you think I did bad? You don't have to be a sales expert to figure it out. Your friend could be like, dude, I felt like there's a lot of pressure there, right? Okay, good. Now you know for the next time. But you're never going to get better if you don't role play, and you're never going to get more leads if you don't do some marketing activities on a fairly regular basis. I recommend at least 30 minutes a day. You don't have to go crazy with it. You can always do more. And last but not least on this list is your website is always going to need work. But the amount of MSPs that don't have the basics on their website, there's a website I've mentioned over and over and over again. It's called vc3.com. The letter V, the letter C, and the number 3.com. Now, I have no affiliation with this company, but I truly believe they have one of the best examples of a fantastic MSP website. They have an entire area that talks about their services. They have an entire area that talks about the industries that they serve, and they have an extremely, extremely active blog. There's some other benefits in there as well. Most MSPs have, on average, less than 5, I would even potentially say 6 pages on their website, right? They have the home, they have an about us, sometimes a service or two, and then a contact us. That's it. We have to get those pages up. Customers, potential leads, are landing on your website. Whether or not you believe it, I promise you, if your website's been on Google for more than 3 or 6 months, and especially if you service a local area, Google is letting people go to your website, but they're not finding the information to turn it into a lead so you can call the person and you can have that conversation to ultimately close the deal. It was shocking to me how many MSPs, well into the millions of dollars, have what I would call a thin website. You don't have to be a website expert. You don't have to be a website builder. Your website design almost doesn't matter. It's really less important. But having good information on your website so customers can learn, find you, and potentially say, hey, this is somebody that I want to form a partnership, that is truly, truly important through that entire process. And last but not least, a little golden nugget. Start learning how to handle objections. I was shocked at how many people are terrified for somebody to send out an objection. They are super common to have. If you get really, really good at sales, you'll learn that you can get ahead of the objections way, way before they actually become an objection. And if you think you see an objection coming, you want to address it immediately. But it's how you address it, it's the tonality that you use, it's the way you speak to the person that is truly going to matter. The best way to handle objections, believe it or not, even if you don't learn the responses for all of them, is truly care more about your prospects than anybody else. They can see that you care more than anybody else, and that care coming from us, the IT people, the nerds, the people that love technology, right, will go infinitely further than any other. You can come up with all of the objections and how to handle them, which helps tremendously. Don't get me wrong. But if you don't want to take the time to role play and go through all of that, truly care more about your client and let that show. By doing that, you will win so many more deals, so many more at bats that you will crush because the client will see that you truly want to work with them, that you truly care about their business, and that will help tremendously when it comes to putting the John Hancock on the paper, that signature, and getting it moving forward. I hope this video helps. These are some of the main things that I saw after talking to about 75 MSPs. I have another batch of MSPs that I'm going to be speaking to over the next 2 days. I'm somewhere in Atlanta. I would say somewhere because I literally have no idea where I am. Thank God for Uber. But it has been truly a blessing to be out here. I'm super, super excited. I have an incredible view out of this apartment. I appreciate that guy to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, love you guys.